Hi, I'm going to speak to you today about what you can start doing today, right now, if you're feeling really overwhelmed by your life or trapped by circumstance, feeling like everything is piling up on top of you and you just don't know what to do. And you might even be really angry about things that other people are setting up for you in your life. And it feels really awful to be a victim of circumstance and to be trapped by this. And as awful as it feels, even as awful as it feels, there are still some benefits that I'd like to talk with you about. Because if you want to stop feeling that horribleness, you're going to have to think about giving up the benefits. In order for you to give up the benefits, you got to know what they are and what you're giving up. So one of the benefits is you get to have the moral high ground. I'm right, they're wrong, which is two of the other benefits. So moral high ground, I'm right, they're wrong. Another benefit is actually, surprisingly, in that feeling of powerlessness. Because if you say, look, I'm lost in self-pity, I can't, there's nothing I can do. Well, nothing you can do then. You can sit like a princess or prince or whatever and wait to be rescued. There's no responsibility anymore. So in allowing yourself to be trapped by circumstance, you give up responsibility for changing and transforming the situation. So that's a really important benefit, one of the biggest ones actually. And another one is that for a lot of people, they feel like unless they have a lot of that drama in their lives and all these horrible things happening, the people aren't going to listen to them. So there's attention and there's empathy, which is an additional two benefits that you get from this. Of course, you can wind up wearing people down with it too. And then people kind of start staying away because you're not taking the responsibility in action because of the powerlessness. So there's lots of benefits that start accruing when you think about giving up, as scary as it is, giving up feeling this trapped, feeling overwhelmed by circumstance. And the first thing to do is to recognize that your well-being does not come from these circumstances, that your well-being is your well-being, and that in fact there are no victims. And this includes the people in your life. So I've had a lot of mail recently from people who say, oh, but if I leave this relationship or if I stop this relationship, then these horrible things will happen to the other person. For instance, I even had an example of suicide. And so here's what you do. The first thing is realize you've been a victim over it. Second is find the courage to step up and take responsibility. Thirdly, which is even harder, step up and allow other people to take responsibility. Allow them to take responsibility for the bad choices they may well make if you stop holding them up. And I can imagine that some of you might be thinking, yeah, but that doesn't apply to me, because if you just knew, look, this does apply to you too. No matter what, these things are true. Your well-being is your well-being. You are responsible for your life. There are no victims, and that means you, no matter what. You're making choices, and you're agreeing. If you feel powerless, it's because you've given up your power. That's it, no exceptions. I say this with immense compassion as well as gratefulness. So fourth, imagine what your life is like without the victimhood. What do you want to create? Not what are the problems you want to get rid of, but what do you want to create, and what steps do you want to take right now, today, to start making those things happen? What would it be like for you now, in your taking responsibility for your life, to allow other people to take responsibility for theirs, even if it means that they make some really painful choices that increase the pain of, even if it's everyone around them, even themselves? What would that be like? And what would it be like for you to allow yourself to know that the powerlessness is an illusion, that you are powerful beyond measure and resourceful beyond measure? It's just hiding underneath that powerlessness. And you peel it back by taking responsibility, and all kinds of possibilities and options come out of seemingly nowhere that you hadn't thought of before. And what would it be like to, instead of being right and making them wrong, or instead of making yourself wrong and them right, which is just as bad, what if you could just have compassion and say, everybody wants this to be different. What do I need to do? Where's my part in this? What would that be like? So I invite you to look at something in your life you've been a victim over. And I'll share with you, for me, it was a victim of time, that I was so busy that I felt a victim of circumstance, not enough time in the day. And when I was willing to give that up, I was able to make better decisions about how to manage my time. And for you, where are you being a victim in your life? Anywhere, anywhere. And change that perspective for yourself. Be willing to give up the advantages of being a victim. Release yourself from the trap. The door is already open. Walk out and explore your freedom. That's it. Bye for now.